Buenas noches, buonasera, bonsoir, good evening. Board of Education, Administration, friends, and family, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the Byram Hills High School World Languages Honor Society induction ceremony for the 2021-22 school year. Every year when I prepare for this induction, I am reminded of our role as educators and the influence we have on our students and, more importantly, our society. As language teachers and learners, we are tasked with so much more than just putting together sentences to ask a question in the target language. We are entrusted to show students how cultural perspectives create a backbone to a language, how people from different political, racial, and religious backgrounds are joined by the commonality of a language, and how accepting and appreciating these concepts can broaden our horizons and understandings of the world. Now that I've said it out loud, it seems a bit daunting, but nonetheless, one that we must encourage our students and future leaders to embrace. The students being inducted this evening understand these ideals, and we hope they continue as lifelong learners to pursue a meaningful relationship with other languages and cultures. Tonight, I'm both excited and proud to introduce our keynote speaker. Brandon Lutz is a 2010 graduate of Byram Hills. While in high school here, Brandon studied through AP Spanish, but while at the University of Texas at Austin, Brandon expanded his language repertoire to include fluency in German, Dutch, and French. Brandon is every language teacher's dream, and we are fortunate enough to have him back at Byram to talk to the students about the value of languages. Please give a warm Bobcat welcome for Brandon Lutz.
Hello everyone, bonsoir, buenas tardes, buonasera. My name is Brandon Lutz, and I am thrilled to speak with you this evening for such a momentous occasion. To the students that will be inducted into the Foreign Language Honor Society tonight, what an absolutely amazing achievement. Pursuing foreign language is immensely challenging, and reaching this level shows not just grit, but highlights you all as ambassadors of a more globally minded world. Even to this day, almost a decade after my time at Byram Hills, foreign language has impacted me so profoundly from what I do and where I live to how I see the world. As seniors, you're on the cusp of an incredibly exciting time in your lives, and I want to advocate that you continue to make foreign languages a part of yours in the future. I could talk about all the clear benefits of learning languages and its impact, but today I want to focus on the subtle things that foreign language has taught me, and hope that you will think about these in your futures as well. I want each of you to think of a time where you heard someone who was a non-native English speaker. Maybe they spoke slowly or with an accent. Maybe they said the wrong word or used the wrong tense. Now, I think it's a bit of human nature to have assumptions or judgments about this kind of person. And I have also been guilty of this when I was younger. Now, I also want you to think of a time where you were that person. Whether it was you having to do a presentation in front of class, or having a surprise oral quiz, or if you were lucky, you needed to use foreign language outside of school. I'd say it's probably equal parts nerve-wracking, but also perhaps exhilarating. I want you to consider those people you just thought about, including yourselves, as having incredible bravery. Normal people pursuing a means to communicate in a language that isn't their own. We may not normally think of this as being brave, but I believe that language speakers are some of the most courageous people in the world. The sheer act of getting up every day, knowing that you may be misunderstood, knowing that you may have an accent, knowing that you may say the wrong thing and fail, that takes grit. And if there's anything to take away from foreign language, it's that it builds your confidence like no other subject can. All of you here have proven that you have the courage needed to succeed in this subject. And I want you to remember that this courage transcends a classroom. As you progress through senior year, into college, or whatever journeys you have beyond, you'll have the opportunity to test and develop that courage even further by meeting people from different parts of the world, deepening your expertise in your current or perhaps new languages, or perhaps traveling or studying abroad. Remember that courage, how hard you worked for it, and how important it is to foster and continue to grow it. Which leads me to my second subtle perk. Knowing a foreign language opens up the world to you in ways that no other subject can. Whether you're traveling to places like Marseille or Sardinia or Sevilla, visiting new lands is a truly elevated experience when you can speak the language. By virtue of pursuing this craft, a country, its history, its culture, will open themselves up to you in ways that cannot be so readily understood. How can one appreciate the Oaxacan folk song of La Llorona without knowing the lyrics? Or how can endless fields of lavender in Provence be brought to life without understanding the cultural impact of La Mistral? Or how can you truly know Italy without learning the names and shades of each pasta from orecchiette to tagliatelle? These little aspects of culture exist all around us, and many won't be able to notice or appreciate them. But what you all here now have is the ability to recognize how much languages enrich your experience. It's a binding force that connects places, people, and time, and elevates what is surface level to something even more profound. Which brings me to my third perk. Language is truly the gift that keeps giving. All of you here have developed skills and experience in at least one of the Romance languages. As a result, the ability to read, perhaps understand, or even communicate with others in the language family becomes easier. You'll find that Portuguese looks quite similar to Spanish, or perhaps speaking French gives you an ear for Italian. Perhaps you notice that your understanding of your own English has improved as well, as all the terms you learn, preterite, reflexive, conditional, future, all of those are now tools for you to apply in your own native language writing. I am a firm believer that foreign language provides you that no other subject can provide you. Because regardless of what you learn, the input you put into language duplicates in its output, both in skill and in perspective. So as I wrap up today, I want to finish with 3 points. I challenge each and every one of you to apply these, not just in your language classes, but in your lives. The first, harness and respect the courage it takes to speak a language. Learning a language is hard. It takes time, it takes patience, it takes failure. Embrace that feeling, whatever it is. Own it. And remember that one test score, one bad quiz, one forgotten homework does not define you as a language learner. And take it from someone who did poorly on their own AP Spanish test. Remember that learning language is not just about a grade. It's about all of the aspects language can and will provide you in your life. Continue to have grit, persevere through challenges you will face, and remember to always put yourself in the shoes of the non-native English speaker. Remember that person you visualized from before. Respect those learning languages, admire them, befriend them. We have the luxury of living in an English-dominant world. Appreciate that, be grateful for it, and in spite of that, continue to pursue this craft and support those that do it too. Second, find your why. Many of us have entirely different motivations for pursuing foreign language. Some of you may do it for your family. Some of you may want to pursue a certain field or study certain subjects. Some of you may just want to travel and meet new people. The most important thing is to anchor yourself in your why. Remember why you are doing this, and remember to pursue language because you want to, and let it be a reminder through all your endeavors in the future. It's not the easiest subject, but I have found it to be the most fulfilling not just in my work, but in my personal life as well. In German, they say, Der Hunger kommt beim Essen. Literally, hunger comes from eating. What it really means is that as you grow and continue to pursue something, your love and passion for it will grow with it as well. And number 3, and this is my most favorite lesson, any language is worth pursuing. As you are all seniors, many of you will be entering college a year from now. As many of you go off or pursue other futures beyond high school, you will hear the word should a lot more. You should take this course, or you shouldn't go here. You should learn this language because it's good for business, or you shouldn't bother with that one because they all speak amazing English. Whether it's related to language or not, many around you will offer their own advice and their own thoughts. This is especially true as it pertains to choosing a language to study. But here's the thing. Language is not just being able to speak the most widely spoken or the easiest language out there. It's about the cultural competency you develop as well. And this comes from learning any one of the 1,000 spoken languages in the world. When you learn French, you also learn how to navigate the importance of French culinary history and lifestyle, or how, in learning German, you learn that because it's a consensus-driven society, it is customary to consult everyone in the decision-making process. You learn in Japanese culture, being indirect in disagreement is more common than hearing a flat no, or that directness is not considered rude in Russia. I can tell you firsthand, if you anchor yourself in your why, what language you choose to pursue will make sense to you, and that's what matters. Value comes not just from whether you can speak the language, but by understanding the people who speak it. I had no idea in high school that my path would take me where it has. From Spanish, I developed my skills and confidence to pursue German, which through my work led me to Dutch and French. And while I use those languages for work, so much of my work is not speaking, but understanding how to navigate the cultural differences and similarities with all of these places, and using that to work together to solve complex challenges together. I love that wherever I go, I get to put on a new hat and put myself in the shoes of other people to understand how they think and live. It's a responsibility and an obligation I feel that we as citizens of the world should have. And I'm blessed to get to use these skills that I love every day. I challenge you all now to take on this responsibility and open your hearts and minds to places vastly different from the one you know, and worry not about what you should do, but focus on what you want to do, whether it's deepening your love and skill for the language you speak already today, or developing a love or interest in ones that come to you in the future. And I want to end with a final note. Each of the languages here today have a similar saying. Cuando se cierra una puerta, se abre una ventana. In French, quand une porte se ferme, l'autre s'ouvre. And in Italian, quando si chiude una porta, si apre un portone. When one door closes, another opens. A year from now, many of you will leave Armonk to start new adventures. I, like all of your parents, family, and teachers, are incredibly proud of the achievement you have reached today. And I hope that as you move into your futures, you have courage. Courage to continue making language a part of your lives. Courage to meet new people. Courage to study and travel abroad. And all the while allow yourself to be spirited away by the opportunities that language have to offer, professionally, but also personally. The world is a big place, teeming with diverse cultures and customs. And as language learners, you have the opportunity to become a deeper part of it all. And with that, I'll say, felicidades, bravo, bon travail, and good luck in your senior year.
Thank you, Brandon, for your wisdom and your willingness to share your ideas with our graduating seniors. The next portion of our evening will be presented by students that have demonstrated exemplary pronunciation of the target languages. I'd like to personally thank and commend Giulia Lucino, Nico Biscayr, and Ben Goldman for their commitment to language study and the perfection of pronunciation.
Comme membre de la Société honoraire de français, je promets de me dédier à l'étude de la langue française pour pouvoir m'y spécialiser un jour en me rappelant qu'une langue peut être un lien fort entre les gens d'origine différentes, de races différentes ou de religions différentes. Comme citoyen de mon pays, je promets de promouvoir l'amitié et la compréhension entre les gens d'ici et ceux d'autres nations mondiales. Voici ma promesse.
Sydney Sharon, Elizabeth Deeks, Rebecca Frieden, Jacob Gaiman, Noel Gibson, Abigail Krupa, Lucy Quitkin, Nora Lowe, Julia Lucchino, Eliana Morse, John Dosai, Nicholas Paslar Banamar, Ella Pilmchik, Emily Pizzaruso, Tanya Postian, Gina Shaliro, Georgia Schwartz, Ariana Tabankin, Sebastian Vasquez, Priscilla Zhang.
Come membro della Società Onoraria d'Italiano, prometto di dedicarmi allo studio della lingua italiana con il proposito di specializzarmi un giorno e ricordare che una lingua può essere un legame intenso tra genti di origini diversi di razze diverse, di religioni diverse. Come cittadino del mio paese, prometto di promuovere l'amicizia e la comprensione tra questo e gli altri paesi nel mondo. Ecco la mia promessa.
Luke Abruzzese, Olivia Adeo, Lily Auster, Zoe Banco, Nicholas Bisgayer, John Blackmore, Irene Burns, Amelia Chung, Sophia Cobos, Gabriela Colabello, Brooke Golden, Samantha Grach, Alicia Huang, Alexandra Ioffe, Jessica Khan, Hannah Rippey, Michael Rocco, Olivia Tedesco.
Como miembro de la Sociedad Honoraria de Español, prometo dedicarme al estudio de la lengua española con el fin de dominarla algún día, recordando que una lengua puede ser un lazo fuerte entre personas de distintos orígenes de raza o de religión. Como ciudadano de mi patria, prometo promover la amistad y el entendimiento entre ella y los otros países del mundo. Esta es mi promesa y mi juramento.
Alex Araki Kurdala, Derek Araki Kurdala, Morgan Aronsky, Lily Auster, Edith Bachman, Olivia Barry, Alex Berkman, Sophia Berland, Ryan Bernstein, Nicholas Bisgayer, Evan Bokel, Joseph Brown, Elizabeth Corelli, Talia Deutsch, Ross Eagle, Danielle Eder, Reese Ertel, Chloe Fang, Danielle Freiberg, Samantha Glusky, Ariel Goldman, Benjamin Goldman, Eliza Goldman, Jake Goldman, Hallie Gordon, Sarah Gergervich, Dylan Haber, Olivia Hazen, Ariana Jones, Jamie Kaplan, Owen Kenny, Owen Kirkwood, Kate Levy, Sydney Levy, Alyssa Margolin, Matthew Marinozzi, Charlie Mello, Jillian Nichols, Nicholas Paslar Bunamar, Bennett Rackauer, Max Roche, Lucy Ross, Maximus Santos, Dylan Schimmel, Brady Schlosser, Katarina Schmidt, Chloe Siegel, Ariana Tabankin, Alexandra Weiss, Hayden Weiss, Leela Zaks, Jane Zeltner, Robert Ziff.
To conclude this evening, I must recognize the dedication of the World Languages faculty. Our teachers have demonstrated grit during a pandemic with professionalism and commitment to their students. It gives me great pride to work alongside them on a daily basis. Finally, I must congratulate the students and their parents for the celebration. The healthy collaboration between families and educators constitutes a strong language program. We would like to thank you, the parents, for sharing your appreciation for foreign cultures and languages, for teaching your children to explore and take risks, and for showing your children the power and importance of a language. Have a great evening, everyone.